If it starts getting hairy in there, you can handle yourself, yeah?
Who goes there?
Before they make too much noise. You sure you want that?
No further!
Sure, we got company. Plenty more where that came from, I reckon.
Back in line.
Trying to get us caught? Not quick, but not hard.
Low on mana. For your honor!
Sure shouldn't be a problem. Plenty more where that came from, I reckon.
Seize them!
We got company. I need to bail soon.
No trespassers! Stop them!
Hey guys, new build here. Today I want to show you a new heist build that I made last night, specifically to farming heists. So as you can see, the build is kind of fast. The whole build is made for speed and efficiency of farming heists. I think as far as I've taken it, the build is giving you plus 200% move speed if you have enough flasks and flask effects. But for the purposes of this video, I haven't invested all of my money to this build, just most of it. So the purpose of this build is to make heists as fast as possible. This is why I'm using this helmet. This helmet can be used on pretty much every single build. And what it does is, it makes quality of the gem that you're using in this helmet be plus 50%, and the level of this gem being plus 6 levels. So why is it good? The reason why it's so good is because you can use things like Phase Run. Phase Run gives you plus 70% move speed whenever you use it, and makes you invisible. So the reason why it's so good in heists is effectively because you're a speedy boy and you're fucking invisible. So none of the mobs can see you, and none of the mobs can even catch up to you. So it allows you to farm heists really fucking fast. On top of this, I'm playing an Autobomber. I'm playing Autobomber because I don't really like pressing buttons too much, especially in Heist because it gets tedious sometimes. So all of my damage comes from my Herald of Thunder doing damage by itself. And as you can see, I'm using level 21 Herald of Thunder. You can probably get away from using maybe level 20 Herald of Thunder if you can. Just a disclaimer, this isn't a budget build. This build is quite expensive. I think I spent most of my money on this build as well, but if you have the money to buy a good trinket, you should have the money to buy this build. Again, this build can be made on any base. If you want to play Cyclone, you can play Cyclone. If you want to play BV, you can play BV. All you really need is this one helmet. But since I'm playing an Autobomber, I want to show you guys why it's so good. So currently I'm using this staff. This staff gives me 25% block chance to all damage. Oh, actually 35% block chance to all damage. And every percent of my block chance gives me crit multiplier. So why is it so good? Well, if you're using this stuff and if you're using your items and really good jewels, you can get your crit multiplier up to almost 600%. Having 600% on your Herald of Thunder makes the game a lot easier for you. Especially in mapping, if you want, you can make this build mapping. I have used the mapping myself. I'm still level 90, I believe, 92, which is why it's not that efficient yet. To make this build most efficient, you kind of need level 94, 95 to make it viable, because I'm still missing a bunch of jewels. As you can see, I'm missing some jewels in my class of jewels, and I'm missing some levels in HP. So this build can get a lot tankier and a lot faster. I don't have tailwind boots. I don't even have the best boots, because my boots give me 25% move speed, but at least I have some resistances. Again, you can use a headhunter, you can make this build a lot faster, tailwind boots, good boots. it's all about how much money you want to spend on this. Personally, I spent about 70 exalts, I believe, into this build, maybe more. The most expensive item was my chest. I spent 50 exalts on this chest. It gives me 177 maximum life, some resistances, frenzy on head, and explodey. Again, you don't have to have this chest. I think if you use Furl's Fur, you'll probably have even more move speed, and you'll probably have even more invisibility. All I really want from this build is to have some damage and a bunch of move speed, because in Heist, it doesn't really matter how fast you kill mobs, as long as you can skip them. I'm using phasing, phase run, sorry. Phase run at my helmet, which is kind of what's carrying the whole build. Even if I didn't have any skills that do damage, my build would be still really good. Effectively, the whole build is made around the helmet, maybe Budget Brotherhood, because it gives you more elusive effect, which makes you a bit faster, but you can make it work. So let me show you some items I have, if you want to make a similar build. And after this, I'll show you how I'm up in its current build. So I'm using Storm Secrets, which isn't a big surprise. It increases your Herd of Thunderstorms efficiency by 50%, which in turn makes you take some damage back. As long as you have some ES recovery and a bunch of ES, base ES, you should be fine, you shouldn't be taking too much damage. Your Cinder Swallow should be able to sustain your life. Make sure you have at least 2% of energy regeneration on your Cinder Swallow, otherwise you'll be dying, especially the bosses, because you wouldn't have enough leech to keep yourself up. Apart from this, I'm using those gloves. I don't believe those gloves are the best ones, but it has elemental weakness, so elemental weakness is kind of what all you're looking for. If you can get speedy gloves, if you can get Crusader gloves, I feel like those would be much better. But for the sake of this build, I'm using those. Those are supposed to give me a lot more damage than anything else, but I don't really see it. In all honesty, I don't see those gloves being that good. Especially from the people I've spoken to, they all said that those gloves are just not good. For my stuff, for my 6 links, I'm using Head of Thunder, Power and Charge and critical support just for the extra power charges and extra damage, and Power to make my Head of Thunder do even more damage. I have Lightning damage just for extra levels, and again, plus damage. All this damage is being multiplied by your crit multiplier, Elemental Focus, and Lightning Penetration. This setup by itself should be enough for you to farm most of heists. I've been farming heists for the whole day. I believe I only died once or twice. Well, I was reading chat. Again, the build is really tanky. You have a lot of block chance. Currently I have 43% block chance to attacks and 10% to spell damage. You can increase this if you get more talents into a block, but it's a personal choice. Having staff block, having spell block will make a lot of difference for you. But I didn't have enough points, so that's where I'm at right now. I will not be playing this build anymore because I don't believe heists are that profitable. I personally do not enjoy heists. That is why I will be selling it very soon, and I'll be selling my 100 Exalt trinket. I've gotten this trinket last night. This is actually the second trinket I've gotten. The last trinket I've gotten was 4% plus, 3% plus Chaos Orbs as alts, which apparently isn't that good because you don't really get any alts in Grand Heists. So money well wasted. Money has been wasted. Well, it doesn't really matter. I had my fun. I've gotten a couple of results from heists. I'm sure you can make it work for you if you enjoy it. I suggest not doing heists unless you really fucking like it, because the money doesn't seem to be there. Maybe in long term you can make some money back. I feel like with the way things are going, it seems like grand heists are getting less and less profitable because fossils are getting more expensive, and small currencies are getting much cheaper. Currently, you can buy 1,000 chisels for just 40C. To me, that's really insane. 40C for 1,000 chisels. I don't even want to know how cheap orcs are right now. So all you're gonna make money back from are gonna be Chaos Orbs and Exalts. For my personal tests, I've only gotten 1 or 2 exalts per Grand Heist, and about maybe 1 exalt from Chaos Orbs. Everything else was pretty much useless, and really undervalued. Except for maybe Sextons. Sextons have been decent, so this is what I've gotten from 10 runs. All this currency has been gathered from 10 runs of Grand Heists. Maybe you can salvage it, maybe you can sell all of it for a hefty bulk price, but I do not enjoy this content. It's really slow and boring to me. And but if you do, there you go. I feel like this is probably one of the best builds in the game. You can make this guy a lot faster. You can go for a speed shield if you want. You can go for a speed shield and a void battery. You'll have a little bit less damage, but you'll have a lot more move speed. But I feel like you don't really need extra move speed because you'll be hitting doors way too often. As well as you can buy a Feral's Fur. Feral's Fur is going to make you a bit speedier and a bit more defensive because you're going to be more invisible. I hope you guys enjoy. I'll be making more Delirium guides really soon, and I'll explain to you guys why Delirium is still the best money-making method in the whole game. You have a good one. I love you all. Have a good night.